Welcome to the
It's the
show.
All-Day Seahawks podcast. Welcome to the show, everybody. On this episode, we have former NFL fullback, former Falcon, former Raven, Ovie Mughelli joining us. He does a podcast with another former NFL vet, Michael Turner. It's called Believe in Falcons, BLEAV in Falcons. And we'll ask them, are the Falcons good? We know they have a great offense, but how good are they? Also, plenty to talk about from a Seahawks perspective. Lofa will let us know what the Seahawks need to do to win this game, and there's a lot to get into there. We'll look around the league for a Russell Wilson alert.
Ooh. Some rumblings out there.
Yeah, some rumblings out there, man. But, dude, let's just get into this matchup coming up with the Falcons. And right off the bat, just on a scale of 1 to 10, what is your confidence level going into this game?
Oh man, it's generally up there, right by the 10. I'm gonna go ahead and give it like a 6 or a 7, maybe a 6 and a hay, right?
Okay.
So, we're doing enough we're putting enough points on the board, and as a defender. You take that personally, and I know the guys that we got in that locker room on defense. We got a bunch of studs, man. Great character, and they're fighting and they're resilient. So I'm expecting to see us go down there and come out with a win. And it's the toughest thing is you look at we're on a 3-game slide. They're on a 3-game winning streak. But you can't win them all. You can't lose them all. That's what I say.
Yeah. My confidence level was at a 4 this morning. I was on the other side of 5. That doesn't mean I don't think they can win. That's just my confidence level in it.
You shifted?
Well, I walked out in the backyard and a hawk, I'm not kidding you, a hawk landed, perched itself on the wire, looking for some breakfast. And right then, I went from a 4 to a 6. Because it wasn't a falcon that landed. It was a hawk. It's a sign, Lofa. And it was while I was walking around in the backyard pondering this game. So
I believe in signs.
Yeah, man. I got video of it. I'll post it. I'll show you. This is real. This is not me making something up.
Brother, I trust you.
The clouds parted, and I think I'm more confident than I was when I woke up. If you're feeling confident about this game or any others, go to Bet Online, the world's most trusted betting platform, your number one source for everything football. Bet Online has every stat, every matchup, even live odds and spreads to bet during these games. You can place bets on NFL football, on MLB playoff baseball. Hockey is back. The WNBA playoffs are happening. You can bet on whatever you want over there. And they also have a 24/7 online casino that never closes. Join their $200,000 mega contest. Pick 5 games against the spread every week. There's a lot going on at Bet Online. Bet Online, the game starts here. Lofa, they added Roy Robinson Harris, or they traded for him, excuse me. They traded for him, a 6th round pick. They're beefing up the D line. I got 2 questions here. What do you know about Roy Robinson Harris, and why are they beefing up the defensive line when the offensive line needs a lot of help too?
Okay. Don't know a ton about Roy Robinson, but I know he's a big body, and that can only help stop the bleeding. Of course, I'm talking about the run game. We've been struggling there. And it's not just one guy. So it wasn't like, but like I said, our depth is getting tested, and we haven't passed the test yet. So, kudos to the Hawks, John, making a move to bolster the roster until Murph comes back. Because, dude, I'm telling you, we took Murph for a reason. He makes a difference.
Yeah.
And so
he should be back this week. He's been practicing. We'll see.
Yeah. In the meantime, I'm just McConaughey and Interstellar screaming Murph through a pane glass window.
He was limited in practice on Wednesday. Murphy was.
I'll take that.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's good news. And then, I'm sorry, the other question, it was.
Well, why are they bringing in D linemen? I mean, I love it. We got to stop the run. I know there's problems there, but the O-line, man, the O-line seemingly needs the most help.
It does, but we're still putting up enough points, right? And like I said, times have changed, but back in the day, back when I played, like if you scored 17 or more as an offense or a team, right?
Yeah.
Then we counted that. We took responsibility for all the losses that were the offense. Hey, they put up 20 today. They put up 26. We're scoring enough, you know? And I know, you know,
one of them was a kick return though. And then the game before that was Jenkins going to the distance for 7.
Yeah, either way, that's points.
Yeah, I know, but I'm just saying it's not coming from the offense. It's the defense. It's not,
we
it's not
contribute
like
it.
the rest. And I'm just saying.
For sure. No, that's a great valid point because, you know, special teams generally in the fantasy world goes down as special teams because we've had games before that we lost and we scored like a pick 6 when I was playing. And, you know, they were like I get a reporter coming up to me interviewing. And they're like, hey, well, like you guys put up, you know, 28. I was like, well, that's on us. You know, even though we returned a touchdown, we still gave up 35. Like it was like, that's embarrassing, right?
Well, actually, games where you have a special teams touchdown or a defensive touchdown, you're supposed to win more often, actually.
I have to find the stat. There was one. I mean, this is how crazy shit was in 2010, where I think we had like a special team and a defensive. We had like 3 turnovers and a special teams score, and like we still found a way to lose. And it's like, congrats, you're the first team in NFL history to have all these things that give you a 99.9% chance win probability and wrestle defeat from the jaws of victory.
Yeah, and no matter how painful it is, this is why we love sports, because you just never know what's going to happen, and a win can become a loss and a loss can become a win, and it's unpredictable. Yeah. That's why it's the best. Is this a bit of a turning point game for us? We're 3-3. If we win this one, are we, buyers in the trade market? If we lose this one, does the season go the other way? Is this a turning point game?
Oh, I hear you, because the deadline's first week in November, something like that. Yeah, I think not this single game, but the next few weeks will be a telling sign of what we should expect and prepare for. But made this move, and hopefully it's not a short-term fix, but a long-term fix, right? Adds to our depth. Hopefully the 31 years old Roberts, hopefully he's still got gas in the tank, man, and just, can make some plays happen. But we've generally not been, other than the Leonard Williams trade, I think, we've never really made big moves. I mean, even Marshawn Lynch, even though it was probably the biggest trade, well, we got Largent too, right? I know that. So
1976.
Still a monumental trade, though. But Marshawn, he was kind of on the outs in Buffalo. And, I mean, we saw him as our savior. And, like it gave everybody life when we got him, on the team. So, that remains to be seen. But I don't think anybody's panicking right now. And we just got to find a way to start faster, because other than the Giants game was the only game we got outplayed in the second half. We played well in the second half. We outplayed Niners, man.
Possibly nobody in the building is panicking, but if you look at Twitter, people want to trade DK again for like the 4th year in a row. I swear, it's just like, mark your calendar. It's that time of year again. Everybody wants to trade DK.
Yeah. And every time they say that, we just go on and make the playoffs. So, or a winning season. Yeah. All right. You got me there. But
I think the point, actually, if you want to get into it with the trade DK thing, I think it's more about contractually, and would you, re-sign him again? And do you sign a receiver to a second big contract? And if you're not going to, why not trade him and try to get something coming back for him? I think if it's a smart conversation, that's what it should be. If it's a knee jerk, let's just get him out of here conversation. That's probably not smart.
Get him off the team. The only guy to go 4 straight games for 100 yards.
Right.
Let's calm down, relax, take a breath, and think about what we're tweeting and saying out there, folks. It's
Well, what about it? Would you sign him to that second big contract?
Yeah, we're finally getting a glimpse of the receiver we always thought he was, right? And Grubbs used him great. And when there's been time in the pocket, Geno's found him. Even we had the touchdown called back last week where he's just taking the top off of defense. That's not an easy thing to do. And so those are rare guys. And so what are you getting in return is all I'm asking.
Can I play the other side?
Yeah.
Because what they'd say is there's a lot of talented receivers coming out of college. You could draft a guy. Now, obviously, it's to be seen whether you hit or miss on that. But you could draft a guy that's a rookie contract that's a lot cheaper. And then again, there's other guys around the league maybe who obviously aren't DK probably physically and everything that DK is, but are serviceable enough and at the price to not command what DK is going to command on that second contract.
Yeah, the only thing I'd trade DK for right now is 5 All-Pro offensive linemen. That's the only thing that's going to really make a difference in terms of the difference he provides. But no, if we're talking strategy and going forward and what you do with guys that come up for a big contract and like the receivers are getting paid.
Yeah.
I don't know if, and I love his game and what he is.
Yeah.
But I don't know if teams can afford that contract very long. And I don't know if we're going to see all these players that are getting those contracts play the length of it is all I'm saying. But I don't want to see him going anywhere unless it better be like a Herschel Walker type trade where you get, or like Ricky Williams draft trade where you get 7 picks and like the world.
Yeah, no, for sure. If you ask me today, I don't want to see him go anywhere. I hear the argument, and you'd have to see obviously what you're getting back and everything that you bring up. The offense, though, man, I feel like because of the situation with the defense, which seems like that's where everybody's hurt, injured. They just put Wallace on the IR, so he'll be out for 4 games, I think. Right?
Jenkins.
Oh, sorry, Jenkins.
Yep.
Oh, did I say? Oh, my bad. Yeah. Thank you. So it's not getting any better over there injury wise, unless some of these guys come back. Anyway, the point is, Geno's going to have to score. The offense is going to have to score, and the offensive line is going to have to give him time, man.
Yeah, no, absolutely. And to see Jenkins leave, that's tough. Like, he's big hitter back there. And so now either Wallace or Bryant.
That's why I was thinking Wallace, because that's what I was thinking. Who replaces him, right?
Yep, exactly. And because Kobe was out there for a few plays, Kayvon was too. They're both, great players. So, and then even you might even see Kobe mix in at corner. That's his true position. Like, because I just felt like our legs looked tired last week.
On defense.
Defense especially. Like it was just, some guy like Purdy pulled away from Baker. I've never seen anybody pull away. Purdy can run. Purdy pulled away from Baker on a crucial 3rd down that extended the drive. And even like Baker kind of looked like, did that just happen? And I know he's 7 or 8 years in the league, but he's still, he's one of the fastest linebackers. And there was just other plays that just stood out because the 3 games in 10, 11 days, whatever it was, like that, man.
Well, you brought up
fresh legs.
You brought up the linebackers, and I wanted to talk O-line, but then I mentioned Jenkins, and so I said to us defense. Let's stick with it. The linebackers, man. That's your position. That's your specialty right there. A lot of talk about these linebackers. I think going into the season, a lot of expectation, right? Because they're new and we'll see what's going on. But here we are 6 games in. What do you think about their play? What do you think about their play?
I think not enough big plays, right? And these are 2 guys that I have a lot of respect for. I love watching them play, since they came into the league. And then, Dodson, I really think he's going to be one of these premier type leaders as a linebacker here going forward. I know they were both only signed to a 1-year deal, but dude, he's special. And so is Baker when he's healthy. Baker's been in and out of the lineup because of injury and some he's dealt with, but he's a tough kid. Yeah, just a little more, I don't want to say leadership, but authority out there in terms of communication, but then also play style. Like I think McDonald spoke about it. He said specifically in the run game, it's the second level. Now the second wave, you got the first wave is the lineman, right? Mm-hmm. You go to the second wave, that's the linebackers and secondary. Anybody we put in the box, and in the box means 5-7 yards. So you roll it down to safety, and that they're in the run fit. So he said we need to get more out of them in terms of coming downhill and being aggressive. And so not allowing the double teams to stay on our front four, right?
Yeah.
Because the run game, you got to do the dirty work. I loved doing the dirty work. I loved coming downhill and just mixing it up. So
well, it's hard when we're so used to a linebacker like Bobby Wagner for years, right? Especially a young Bobby Wagner. I mean, would he be making a difference in this defense right now?
I think Bobby makes a difference anywhere he goes, him, KJ, right?
Yeah.
So to a degree, yes, but one man wouldn't stop what we're seeing right now, right? So
then who's it got to be? Who's the leader got to be on defense? I mean, who is the leader on defense?
I think Dodson is that guy. I think he is. I mean, he plays like it, and I think it's tough because he was in a reserve role in Buffalo, right? Only saw meaningful snaps last year. So, and he probably doesn't know if it's his place to, put everybody like in check and I'm not talking like yelling, but just have like a talking to like, hey, when you see this, like the communication has to come up a notch, but then just the attitude overall, like, you look at the Niners, they played the run with no more than 6 or 7 guys. Like they weren't even concerned about the run because they had 1 or 2 guys every play kicking ass, whether it was Bosa, the D tackle. And then like Fred Warner was so freed up to run around and use his speed. That's when you're winning in the trenches.
Well, how do you find your voice as a leader? How did you find your voice coming in?
Good question.
Team after team, different levels.
Well, as a Mike, you have to be vocal anyways because I have to communicate the plays. And then, really, I didn't say much until I earned the respect of everybody by the way I played. And then also just how much work I put in is when I felt, I was established enough to voice my opinion and say, hey, this is what we got to do. This is what I need out of you. What do you need out of me? And like that's the biggest thing is like, it's not just telling somebody, you never tell somebody what to do. Like I was 23-year-old rookie, right? I'm not going to yell at a 9-year veteran Grant Wistrom, right? It would have just been a straight up fight. So, you ask, hey, when you see this, how do you want to play it? Right. I always defer like, you're at the front line, your first point of contact. How do you see this and how do you want to play it? Because now it tells me I can adjust off of it. And so it's a chemistry thing, it's a trust thing, and communication. That's really all we're talking about. I know it sounds like a lot, but it's not. Just a little trust, communication goes a long way in and I'm going to break down a couple of those runs of the Niners. There was one run. It looked like the same one that McCaffrey had against us for like 70 yards.
But this sounds like it's going to take time, and I'm a Seahawks fan.
I don't think it's going to take time. I really don't. I think when they look at the film, and because there was one run where just schematically, we were all exactly where we were supposed to be. We got a gap. I got an A gap. He got a B gap. You got the C gap. All right. The Niners won every single one-on-one though. And they got such push off the ball that the running back had 3 alleys to pick from. They're like, I'm not joking when I say I could have got 10 to 12 yards, right? Present day, I could have hopped off the couch, right? Put my beer down, got out there, and I could have got 10 to 12 yards. I could have got you a first down.
Yeah. Well, You were a beast as a ball carrier, though. Come on now. Don't sell yourself short.
I mean, if we want to go there, yeah, I averaged 23
Get off
yards.
the couch and get 12 yards. Now that's something.
I'm going to give you 5, maybe 6.
Okay. See, now that's not good. Because if I'm running the ball, you should be in the backfield while the handoff is happening. Like,
dude, I hear you, but that's how open it was, brother.
Yeah.
Like first contact wasn't made until 6 yards. So I'm just saying, you don't break that tackle, I do.
Well, speaking of open, back to our offensive line, which is usually just opening holes for people to run through and smack Gino. And I mean, listen, we got to get this thing figured out on the O line. What's it going to take? 2 tight ends in more often?
A lot of chipping, right?
Okay.
Yeah, just I got faith in Grubb, like, to figure it out. I mean, even I gave him credit. He tried to stick to the run. He tried everything possible, and it just wasn't there. So what did he do? He just kept calling the draw play. A simple draw probably got us 35 to 40 out of our 52 yards. And I'm not lying. That shit was beautiful. Because I'm like, and in Grubb's mind, he's like, all right, if I just keep gashing them with the draw, they're going to slow down. They didn't. They just kept they unleashed the hounds every play. Bosa went ripping up the field. He didn't give a shit about the draw. He's supposed to stop.
It's a good thing that the O-line isn't where it needs to be?
Well, then use what you got. Exactly. The element of surprise.
Okay.
Oh, draw again. Gotcha, bitch. Okay.
Do you think that draw play, older Seahawk fans will know this. Do you think that draw play is the same draw play that Holmgren had in, which is the same draw play that Knox had in? Is it like a Seahawk rule that draw play gets passed down?
I don't know if there's different like styles of draws that many. I think.
I just think, you remember back in the day, it was like,
I do.
3rd and 24, and they'd hand it to Max Strong on the draw. Sean would run the draw all the time. Yeah.
Dude, the draw and the screen, those are supposed to be weapons to slow down rush. And those were the 2 most effective plays. But the wild thing is those plays haven't worked for us normally. Mm-hmm. It just shows me there was no regard from the Niners to acknowledge that we might actually run or do a quick screen.
Interesting. Yeah. I also actually Money Mike brought this up before the show, so shout out to him. But Forsyth, man, I mean, he's under the thumb of all of the fans, and people are giving him shit left and right. However, and this is what Mike pointed out, I mean, he's basically a 3rd string guy. He's making $1 million a year. He's doing the best he can. And honestly, he hasn't been that bad. I don't know how else to phrase it, but he's been pretty good having to step in and having to step up. And so I want to give him a little bit of credit here on the show, actually.
No, I'm proud of him, man. It's tough duties, like, to play in the trenches, even if he is, into his 2nd, 3rd year, whatever it is, but he wasn't a high pick, like you're saying. We are giving chips and help. And so that was just the one thing is like, let's learn from these situations. If you get a chip, which they chip Bosa, this is the first interception I'm talking about. Gino got absolutely pummeled by the D tackle, who did a vicious spin move, didn't get touched, and smoked him along with Bosa. But Bosa, so if I'm for Stone, okay, I got a chip. Noah did a great job of chipping him, right? Sit inside, make Bosa retrace his tracks out around. So now Gino has a route to escape. He's got the B gap to open up and go, but he had to throw it off his back foot. Football floats when you throw off your back foot, and that's why the other guy had the safety had an easy interception. So it's just like Bosa just kept going inside. And it's like, don't get beat inside if you have a chip. Like, make him run back all the way around. And that the fraction of like a second, maybe a second and a half that it buys Gino is a lifetime in a quarterback's world.
Yeah. Lots of blame going around, especially online, for this 3-3 start. People blaming the players, people blaming the coaches, people blaming John Schneider.
I mean, we all got a hand in it.
Okay.
12s too. We weren't that loud. The Niner fans were pretty loud. Just saying, like, do we take pride in our, appearance and, getting after it, mixing it up? We used to set the standard, right? I'm just saying.
Keep it real. Tell them.
Oh, it was. I remember. Back in the day, I remember a game where we had 10 false starts, maybe 11. I think it was 11 actually. it's just like there was a lot of red in that stadium. Luckily, it was only on one side, though. Remember last Thanksgiving game, that thing was filled.
It wasn't just the Niners game. The Giants game was full of Giants fans.
Yeah. So we all have a hand in this.
Listen, next time you go there, everybody, or if you drive past it on the outside and you're able to catch a glimpse, look up in the rafters. There's a number 12 hanging for the fans. Yeah. Where are you guys?
It's got your name on it.
Your tickets. Stop selling your tickets to opposing teams, fans. You know what I mean? Like, let's come on now. You're right, man. But okay, but
that's what we should invent an algorithm with Epic Seats that says, "Hey, this is a Niner fan. Don't sell."
You know what? Let's call Jimmy Seats. I've got an idea for the app.
Got a bone to pick with him.
Speaking of Epic Seats, epicseats.com if you're looking to buy seats or sell seats, but don't do it to the opposing team's fans. Honestly, I'm going to call Jimmy. We got to talk about this thing. Maybe we even get him on here to talk about how all that works and try to figure out what we can do about it. They got tickets, though, for the Sounders v. Timbers on October 9th. They got October 19th. I missed the one. Sounders v. Timbers. October 22nd, Kraken v. Avalanche. Charlie XCX. Are you into music? That's not a sports team, is it?
No.
Yeah, it's music. Okay. Is it a country?
Okay, yeah.
Who's Charlie XCX? Is that pop? What is that? Rap? Hip hop? Are the kids into hip hop these days?
Yeah. I'm not gonna lie. I'm sorry, Charlie. Whatever. I don't know. I'm not familiar. My bad.
Somewhere McNeil is vomiting.
Yeah.
She's everything.
All right.
He's our pop culture guy.
She's everything. She's going to be in Seattle, October 23rd. Epicseats.com. They've got the tickets, everybody. Go check them out. Oh, and then October 22nd, of course, Seahawks v. Bills. Bills coming into the house. So
I don't even want to think about that.
Seats.com, our friends at epicseats.com. I mean, there's so much to do here on this show. Are guests waiting, or shall we keep chatting? Because I mean, you didn't really answer the John Schneider thing. A lot of fans online bringing up some of the moves.
What are they saying?
Moves not paying off. Daryl Taylor trade is coming up right now. The Mike Jackson trade for Mike Barrett, which he didn't make the squad, right? Out of camp.
No, I don't think he's currently on a team even.
Yeah. So what of it? Some blame for the front office, or is this Coach Mack and John working together to get their guys? Like, what's going on?
I think the only one that, like, hindsight looking back, because at the time it wasn't a big concern for me personally. When I looked at it, it was some depth for the linebackers because Baker had missed all of off-season, preseason, and a guy that he had coached in college. So it made sense that Mack would want this guy because he knows his system and what he wants to do, right? And Barrett's a good player. So I expect him to be on a team. Someone's going to pick him up as injuries continue to happen. The trade of DT, I had, who was it? I think it might have been KB, Kenny Burns. He said, he called it. He said, do you think they're going to move DT? And I said, I don't see it happening. You can never have enough edge rushers, right? More pass rush, more cowbell. Bring it.
Yeah, never enough. So, I love pass rush.
So it was just unfortunate. The timing, a week later was our last preseason, or a week or two later was the last preseason. We lose Chenna again for an extended period of time. And that's when everybody's like, oh, it was a terrible move. But in the moment, no one was saying that. So just want to refresh everybody's memory, like what they were saying. Like, we can go back to your tweets if you want.
Not my tweets.
No, not yours. I was looking at the camera, and
I got to get more active on Twitter.
I thought I was looking at you.
It kind of reminds me. Man, look, it's going to be a big game. It's on the road. It's that thing of the Seahawks going east. There's always that storyline there for some reason. Lots of storylines in this game. But for me, they got to come out of there with a W. And if not that, it's got to look just a little different than it's been looking lately. And I think that's what a lot of Seahawks fans are looking for, is just the sort of just the eye test, man.
Look and feel, right? Just like, hey,
Yeah.
Okay, the ball bounces in funny directions at the end of the game, but like we were competitive and
Yeah.
like what we saw in the second half of last week.
What we
I'm with
saw in the preseason, just that energy,
oh,
to
that
be honest with
energy
you.
was at an all-time high.
Yeah, man. We have a guest, Ovie Mughelli. He is here, everybody. So let's get to him and get everything from a Falcons perspective. What's up, Ovie? How's it going?
What's up, boss? How you doing?
I'm good.
What's up, Savage?
Yeah, good to see you, Lofa, Tatupu. I might be saying that correctly. Tatupu.
You are. Wait. Okay. Well, then, if we're gonna go names, what does Ovie mean? That's got to mean something.
It means king in my parents' language, because I'm African and we're all princes and kings. That's how it works. We're all the tribes and we're royalty. So I walk around and they say, "It is you. It's coming to America. It is you. You are the prince." Oh my goodness! I cannot believe it.
Oh my God!
I actually sang my rookie year in Baltimore. I sang "She's Your Queen to Be" because Ray Lewis and that scary ass defense demanded it. So I got up on a chair and had to do the whole. I can't even do it now. My falsetto's gone. But yeah, it's been fun, man. You look good, Lofa.
Hey, appreciate you, man. Trying to take care of myself. I got kids that are running me ragged. That's really what's going on. So chasing them around and keeping the weight off.
Hey, you and me both. I just lost a bunch of weight, man. I had this COVID weight I couldn't get off. I was 325 pounds, my brother. 325, 2020, 21, 22. It wasn't until last year, this time, I went back to a Ravens game and Ray Lewis and Ed Reed and Todd Heap, all my guys. They're like, "What the hell's wrong with you?" I'm like, "What do you mean? I'm fine. I look good to me." And I was like, fat out, like, hey. And they gave me so much shit that I went back immediately. It just took somebody to really be cruel and heartless as they were. And they got they were knocking notches up my head. Get out your hand, fat ass. I was like, come on, guys, I'm not even that fat. Like, yes, you are. Oh, they gave it to me for 4 quarters. We were in the alumni section. So I had all my guys around me. I couldn't eat popcorn. I couldn't do anything. So I made up my mind right there that I will never come back to, because we had the 25-year anniversary of the M&T Bank Stadium. Then we had the Terrell Suggs, my teammate, Ring of Honor induction, which was a month later. So in just those 4 or 6 weeks, I worked out like a madman. And I started my journey. I took all the shots. I got the B12 testosterone, Monjero, started doing Orange Theory Fitness, Factor. I started doing hot yoga. It was here. It was here. And so I lost like 80 pounds in like 8 months.
Good for you, man.
Yeah.
Good for you. Ovie Mughelli, you guys.
Yes, sir.
He lacks for energy, right?
I lack.
Man, he comes on and just hits it hard. I love it, man. Hey, the co-host of the Believe in Falcons podcast with co-host Michael Turner. Love what you guys do over there. Introduce us a bit to this Falcons team, please. We know they're good offensively. Are they good, and who they got?
So we're surprisingly good. And I say surprising because on paper, we were world beaters. But then we all got brought down to earth game 1 when our $100 million quarterback lost to a backup quarterback in Justin Fields and the Steelers. And so people were ready to throw us in the trash because Falcons fans can be fair weather at times. And because they've seen so much trash from us in the Desmond Ridder years and the Marcus Mariota years, and, you probably know Marcus, he's a good guy. Throwing the ball while on the ground and like some of his antics just weren't good for Falcons football, and we lost a lot. So when we showed that first L in that first game, people were ready to jump off the bandwagon despite us being so heavy in the talent. But then we got back into things in that Eagles game where I think Kirk Cousins came in the last drive and did a Matt Ryan-esque. That's my guy. That's who I played with, Mr. Falcons Ring of Honor. In a Matt Ryan-esque way, or really in Kirk Cousins' way, because he's done it in Minnesota a lot of times, he let us down, a nice 2-minute drill, got the touchdown in the last second to Drake London. And we're like, wait. Is this who we are now? Can we do this? And then we won the Saints game, big 58-yard field goal. And we won, the Bucks game. And so we did 500 yards from Kirko, breaking a record on the night they're honoring Matt Ryan, to getting over 200 yards rushing, almost 2 100-yard rushers. can beat you in the air, can beat you on the ground. Got some studs showing up on offense. Kirk Cousins is getting into Kirk Cousins form, despite the fact that he's not the most mobile guy. It doesn't have to be. It's Peyton Manning, Tom Brady, not mobile, but they're both effective. But the Drake London, I think him really coming into his own, having Darnell Mooney show that he can be a number one receiver if he wanted to, having Ray McCloud come out of nowhere and be a great slot, having Kyle Pitts now in the last couple of games finally start to act like the number 4 tight end that was chosen in the draft and the highest tight end to ever be chosen draft-wise. Like, he's starting to act like that. So we have high-power offense. Our defense, we won't talk about our pass rush because that's not anything to talk about. But Jesse Bates, fellow Wake Forest Demon Deacon. I don't know if you guys know. I just got put into the Wake Forest Sports Hall of Fame. Took him 20 years, but
congrats, brother.
Thank you. So now I'm even more like, we'll go Wake Forest. And Jesse Bates is a Wake Forest, project. Not project. He's a product of Wake Forest University and is amazing safety. Like, he is a ball hawk. He's punching the ball out, but not just him. Justin Simmons, high caliber. AJ Terrell, high caliber. AJ just got off his interception drought because he hasn't had one since 2021, despite his amazing play. But now he's making plays. So defense, we got it. Linebackers, Troy Anderson was great, got hurt. Nate Landman. We have some good blue collar guys. We got some dogs up front. Grady Jarrett, first couple games had a sack, and Judon had a sack, but they've been quiet. Like, we're one of the worst pass rushing teams in the league when it comes to sacking the quarterback. And we're still 4-2. So that just I can.
Oh, I think he muted himself. I think your palm muted you.
Pretty good stuff.
Oh, there he is. Lofa. Lofa, this happens to me almost every week. I told you I was starting to feel more confident. Then the guest comes on. Then they start talking. Now I feel less confident. I mean,
I know you guys have to say good things about the Seahawks because it's your podcast. I get that because I've been.
We'll be honest.
You kind of have to because Lofa knows the management and he sees those guys and he probably knows the players. So I've been there because this is my 4th year of believing Falcons. The first 3 years was rough because we were mediocre to bad, more on the bad side. And I couldn't go all the way in because I would see these guys. I would see Arthur Blank and I would see the head coach. Thankfully, he's gone now, Arthur Smith. But, and I'd see the players. I'm like, this guy sucks. He's terrible. He's what I did it one time, and one of the executives quoted to me when I said, I'm like, oh, you actually watched the podcast? I'm like, dang it. So I get it. The Seahawks are supposed to be good, but we're not supposed to lose to you guys. We're not. Like, we're better than you guys on paper. We're better than you guys, on the field. We have all the things we need to beat you guys. And you're nice. I think you guys are a respectable team, but when you start out 3-0 like you have, and then you go and you lose.
I'm just going to record this and send it to the boys.
You're not supposed to win against the Falcons.
Well, it's an interesting. It's been an interesting season for us because Lofa. It feels like everything that Ovie said about the Falcons. It's almost been the reverse for us, where we started off, 3-0, thinking, "Oh, wait, is this really us?" And then some stuff happened. We start to slide, and now we're thinking, "Oh no, is this really us?" Right?
I'll keep it real. The reason I've gone on like 1 or 2 players, and you know why, Ovie? It was an effort thing.
Yeah, I hate that.
That shit I can't stand. But, but because I come at it from not just the player, but I also coach for 2 years, and so I have that different perspective, that different lens of like, okay, even though it's cover 3, they might have special rules in that week, which is why we see someone do something because have these expert announcers, a lot of which have never played. That's the shit that grinds my gears is like he's supposed to be here. It's like, you don't know that. Like, even like Belichick used to always do it in his press conference. He's like, do you know what we're asking of that player in that specific moment? And like, they're probably like, no. You're like, okay, well then next
shut
question.
The hell up.
Yeah. So, but effort, that shit drives me crazy. And I haven't seen that out of any of our players, except for those 2 instances back in the day. But, so
why are you losing? If it's not effort, then why are you guys losing? If you guys put a great effort.
Discipline. And you can have effort without having discipline. There's discipline, chemistry, and trust, right? Especially it's the run game. And Ovie, I know you could tell us more about the run game than anybody, being a Pro Bowler, fucking savage, all pro. Hated going against this guy, but
yeah, Lofa gave me like about at least 18 concussions. I think in my careers, maybe at least like 4 or 5, but I feel like 18. I forgot the number, but this guy gave me so much headaches, literally and figuratively, that I'm glad that you're not playing anymore. I'm glad I'm not playing anymore.
Right, amen, brother. Can you tell us about these 2 running backs? And I know you have more than 2, but Algier and who I told everybody years ago, I was like, yo, this kid just runs so hard and he's tough. And then Bijan, of course, right? Like, can you just speak to each of their games?
Absolutely. And we talk about this all the time on Believe in Falcons because me and Michael Turner, we are running backs. And we're trying to spend more time on the defense. You probably do the same thing. And you're probably a professional and spend equal time on both sides. But because, we spent the majority of our careers, all of our careers on the offensive side as running backs, we are very particular with running back play. And we both love what Bijan and Algier is doing now. Like Algier, I've never had any problem with because he just wanted an opportunity. It wasn't that, he needed to tweak his game here or there. He shouldn't change a damn thing because the man had 1,000 yards before they got Bijan Robinson. And the way that he conducted himself with that signing, I would be hard-pressed to keep my game face on because I'd be pissed. I'm like, yo, why would you get a running back that freaking high? I showed you I'm the guy. I showed you I can be the one to carry the load. And you go and draft you could have got a defensive end. You got to get a receiver. You get a running back. So Algier was able to have the maturity to say, all right, I'll split the carries, but I got a chip on my shoulder. I got 2 chips on my shoulder. And whenever he touched the ball, angry runs is something I think NFL Network does, or Good Morning Football. All of his runs are angry. Every single time he touches the ball, he can be on angry runs because he's such a savage when it comes to yards after contact, when it comes to lowering his head. It's that just last bit of explosion before he hits you. Love that bowling ball. And again, Michael Turner was my tailback, same type of bowling ball mentality. Love the way Algier runs the ball. But Bijan Robinson, you see why they drafted him. Once he gets the ball, you can see that he can do things that no other running back can do. He's like Alvin Kamara, like on steroids. As good as Alvin Kamara is,
wow,
he has the ability to take.
Whoa, Alvin Kamara on roids. That is a hell of a compliment.
Yeah, because we played the Saints, and all the commentators were talking about it. It wasn't just me. I was like, am I the only one seeing this? Alvin Kamara run the ball, Bijan run the ball. Like these guys are both just quick darting, crazy agility. Cut on a dime. But that 1 foot in the dirt and straight line speed, they both got it. But he's that fast switch is insane for him. He makes guys look silly, falling on the ground, his cuts back and forth. And as small as he is, surprisingly, he'll be able to do some really exciting things between the tackles. I'm like, don't get his little narrow behind him between the tackles, just outside, but he still will jam it in there, not like Ty Algier, but he'll find some daylight and take it. So again, those guys, I get it was the Panthers, but still, to get 100 yards each almost,
it's insane.
It kind of shows that our run game and our offensive line, which even dealing with some injuries, have been amazing. They've kept Kirk Cousins clean for the most part, and they've ran the ball in a way to where it reminds me, again, I feel like I'm old man. Back in my day when we had Tyson Clabo and Harvey Dahl and Justin Blaylock and Sam Baker, and just some dogs. Our center, Mud, I just kind of put on Ring of Honor. Todd McClure. Yeah. Todd McClure. Old man Todd, has a ranch and has goats and pigs and just like old country boy, put his hand in the dirt and dealing with 350-pound Ndamukong Suhs, not with ease, but be able to handle these bigger names.
Just old school tough.
Right? Old school tough. And so the nasty type of mentality that we had when we played ball, and people were calling us dirty, but it was more of us just being playing on the edge, not crossing the edge, just playing on the edge. It was
nasty.
We were nasty.
There's a fine line.
Yeah, it was a fine line. I love it, and we have that now. So that mentality of the team, I think the coach kind of brings it all together. He reminds me of Dan Campbell with the Detroit Lions when he first came in. People were like, that guy is just too much, and he's a crazy coach, and his quotes are silly. But the team rallied around Dan Campbell, and they played at a level that no one expected the Detroit Lions to play at because they're the Detroit Lions. Like, they're not going anywhere, so we thought. Their coach elevated them. I think Raheem Morris elevates our team as a whole.
Yeah.
We have the talent to where they don't want to let him down. They don't want to let each other down. And now we're playing for something because we have a quarterback. We have somebody who can bring it all together.
I got one question, though. Okay. Kamara, have you seen that man's highlight tape? Does Bijan got routes like that?
Bijan can do whatever the heck he wants. Now, he hasn't shown it yet, but he's giving you flashes to where, again, he's shown on the ground he's unstoppable. But on the route, he hasn't. His body of work is not what Alvin is. So obviously, he's been playing longer, but he can do that. I've seen him in practice. I've seen him in games. I watch him exclusively. He can be an Alvin Kamara type and more.
Wow. Yeah, bro, we were just talking about Bijan, and he compared him to, he said he's Kamara on steroids. I took a little issue with that because when I faced so many great running backs, like Ovie and all the tailbacks too.
Alvin was one of them.
When I watched him in person a couple years ago, he came here. I had no idea he was that fast. I was like, I mean, I seen the highlights and I'm like, oh, okay, he's a little scat back. No, he could do it all. And so like that's high praise. And hey, dude, I trust your trained eye. I'm not, but it was just like, to me, I was like, that sounds like a nightmare to deal with.
Bijan's going to be a problem. He's going to be a problem. He's going to be one of the greatest running. If he stays healthy and continues to improve upon where he was his rookie year, because his rookie year, we didn't see enough Bijan. We found out he's dealing with some injuries and whatever. But if he can continue to build upon what he did last year and this year, he can easily be one of the greatest RBs in Falcons history if he stays here and in the league. So I got about 5 minutes left. I want to hear from you guys about the Seahawks. Like, what makes you guys feel like you have a chance to beat us? Because I don't know you guys that well. I just know that you started off great and are not doing so great right now.
I'll let Brett start, and then I'll bring it up because it's gonna be a roller coaster right here.
Well, that's what I was trying to say. Like, I woke up this morning not very confident, Ovie. We talked about this. Like, my confidence level was at about a 4. Then a hawk landed in my backyard. I went up to a 6 just because of the spirituality of it. Okay, so that's not even a football reason. The football reason that I'm confident is our offense. I think if we get into a shootout, we can score. It sounds like this is a shootout game, the way that Atlanta's offense is. And if our offense can get rolling, our special teams scored a touchdown last weekend. We need them to step up again. Laviska Shenault, 99-yard return on a kick, which is that new crazy kickoff and all that. So that was fun. You know, the defense, when they create turnovers, we're obviously better when we can do that, but we need to create more turnovers. So I don't know if I am not sitting here just confident as hell in the Seahawks, but I do think we can win the game if the game goes the way that we need it to go, which to me is an offensive shootout. Lofa, why are you confident?
On the other hand, I came in at 6.5, but your energy and disrespect for us, Ovie, has taken me up to a 12. All right.
Yeah. You don't disrespect the Hawks. You don't do that on my show.
With everything that's gone wrong, seemingly, especially in this 3 games skid, 3 games in 10, 11 days. That, I mean, you know how that feels, right?
Yeah.
Just like, my God. Okay, we got our legs fresh. We have a full week of prep. We are one of the worst teams in turnover differential, and we are one of the most penalized, 5th most.
Wow.
That doesn't change overnight, but I guarantee you there's an emphasis going into this week on those 2. And law of averages says we're going to find our way to change that. So we've been in every game. So I'm not worried about Kirk Cousins. What? I am worried.
He only had 500 yards a couple games ago. You shouldn't be worried about him. You're right. Yeah.
I could have thrown for 500. All right.
Okay.
I would have thrown for 551 to be exact.
Of course.
But I'm very optimistic going into this. Just all we have to do, and I'm like, run the ball right and throw it to DK. No, we have to stop hurting ourselves, and that we get that done, and then a turnover or 2, because we haven't been winning that battle. But you should be getting blown out. We played the Niners. We had 3 turnovers, didn't get one. It was ugly, and still we were within 1 score until a long run broke. And so, the run game is, everybody has a hand in that. So I think we're going to get it. We're going to get it right. And it's not going to be easy. I mean, just you guys are rolling, but I think you guys might be a little too confident right now, and we're a little too pissed off.
I love that.
That's the one thing I am worried about, because we do have a lot of confidence, and we're feeling good, and to have this little winning streak, which we haven't had in a long time, it takes a lot of better leadership to not read your own newspaper articles, read your own clippings, because these guys are a young team. The Drakes and the Kyles and the Bijan, we're a young team, and I'm just hoping that we have enough veteran leadership to say, guys, beat the Panthers. Like, we're supposed to be the Panthers. Like, yeah, the Bucs was a good win, and we're 3-0 in the division, and we're killing the NFC. Like, we're doing good stuff, but we got to keep it rolling. You have to have a short memory, and if we don't do that, you're right. You guys have a chance.
I think that's the motivation, though, also on the Seahawks side, which is when we were 3-0, the narrative was, yeah, but who have you beaten? They go in there, they beat Atlanta. Atlanta's, like we said, a better team than a lot of people thought at the beginning of the year. So I think they're looking for that quality win. The Seahawks are. So let's go, guys. Score predictions. We do this because of Simply Seattle, one of our wonderful friends and sponsors, like this hat. You can grab it at Simply Seattle. Lofa, that sweet crew neck that you're rocking.
It is
I'll
sweet.
send you one after we win, Ovie.
Okay. All right. Like your confidence.
For all of your shopping, use our promo code. It's all caps, all day 15, all day 15 to take 15% off at simplyseattle.com. But they also do the score prediction challenge. You can find it on our social media. All you got to do is predict the score of the game in the comments below. If you nail it, you could get a gift card. Right now, the pot is, what is it up to? $150 is the gift card, because it goes up by $25 each week if nobody nails it, Ovie. So let's enter you in the contest here. What's your score prediction?
28-21 Falcons. I'm going to give y'all, it's going to be a close game. 28-21 Falcons.
And not quite a shootout, really. Okay.
Yeah, our defense is going to finally get some sacks up there, so we're going to do some good work. I think it's going to be a close game, but we're going to beat you guys because we're better than you guys by a lot. So it's just,
I love it.
Not by a little, like by a lot.
Oh, so, I'm already tweeting everything you set out and tagging the boys.
Bulletin board material. Ovie Mughelli says, like, who the hell's Ovie Mughelli?
Oh, they know Ovie. But all right, I'm gonna go shootout, just like Brett said. I don't think either of these defenses are ready for the offensive outburst we're going to see. 37.
Ooh.
35.
Ooh.
Hawks.
Hawks! Come on, let's. We got to be like realistic on this show. Let's not like just say what we want to happen, what we wish happened. Like the Falcons are going to win. Like we're the bird that's actually going to show up on top.
No.
Behind y'all.
Lofa, this is crazy. We didn't even talk about this beforehand. I have Seahawks 38, Atlanta 36 in just a wild and crazy 10 a.m. game shootout. This is like a hockey score where it's like 7-8, but it's messy. You know what I mean? Weird bounce.
Price is right on me.
And maybe Jason Myers comes through in the clutch at the end.
Yeah. He's way better than Young Wei Koo. Way better.
Home unhappy in Atlanta. Ovie, you're the man. Thanks for dropping by, man. You guys can find Ovie on Believe in Falcons with his co-host Michael Turner doing their thing. Ovie, what else you got going on?
Right now, it's Believe in Falcons. I work with my wife with a wellness consulting firm. She's all about these wellness programs that help businesses. So if you do have a business and you're trying to give your employees extra benefits, my wife has told me, I am telling you, not my wife, behind me telling me to do this. Go to onowellnessconsulting.com, onowellnessconsulting.com. We work with the Kaiser Permanentes of the world, the Carvanas, the Rivians, the Costcos. We pretty much help any small business, 10 employees or more, W-2 employees, get better quality healthcare. So that's from my wife. Me, not my wife, but if you do, happy wife, happy life.
Awesome. Ovie, thanks so much for your time, man. Enjoy the game.
Thanks, guys.
Love you, brother. Good to see you, man.
Thank you.
There he goes. Ovie Mughelli, everybody. We have Ovie's number. So I'm going to be texting him during the game, especially if it's going our way. You better believe it. Talking nothing but shit with him. That was awesome. Hey, have you been watching this stuff in Pittsburgh? with Russ and with Justin Fields. He brought up Justin Fields.
I haven't.
Just called him a backup quarterback, but I guess that's sort of the question, isn't it?
Well, technicality, maybe he is now, but he wasn't when he beat Kirk and the boys, right?
Yeah, I mean, what the hell with this? He's 4-2. Seemed to be playing good. He ran in 2 touchdowns last week. What more does the guy got to do? Yeah. But then there's Russ.
Well, and like, I mean, I think it was the understanding that Russ was the guy when they signed him, right? And I know you're saying you're winning. Why mix it up? Tomlin's like the only coach in the history with non-losing seasons, like his whole tenure. So I can't really question his decision making because it's always worked out in the end, no matter who he had back there, right?
Yeah, that's true. I guess as a fan, I mean, this is very interesting. Like your team is doing well. You're 4-2. I don't know, man. This is just a really interesting thing. I mean, Tomlin's the longest tenured coach in the league. Like you're speaking to his winning percentage. I'm almost like at a loss for words with this, because you're right. If it works, great, and he's the coach and he knows what he's doing, and we should have trusted him the whole time. The reason I'm smiling and can't get enough joy out of this is just sort of the whole Russness of all of it, because it just seems very Russ for some reason. Like, is it his camp making sure he gets a chance here? Like, what? It's weird, man. Like the Falcons what are the Falcons? And they're not going away from Kirk Cousins. And I think Pittsburgh has a better record. What is up? This is just the weirdest story.
No, that's good information right there. I like that you said that. Not that he needs to motivate Fields or anything. If they feel like they could give the offense a different look or uptick in production, right? Because they've been gutting some wins out, right? It hasn't been just like if they were 4-2 just blowing teams out, there ain't nothing getting moved.
Okay.
But it's the experience that Russ has, and I think that's what they're going to try to lean on. And because Tomlin does not strike me as a guy that does any rash decision making, like, fuck it, put that guy in. Like,
no, and please don't start the narrative that I'm questioning him. Just for fear of ever running into him someday, because I respect him, and he seems like a dude that you don't want to be on the wrong side of.
Well, you could tell him about your illustrious Little League coaching career, which you sent 5 guys to the All-Star game. So he'll respect it, right? The winning record, everything.
Sure.
So, but
game recognizes game.
Yeah, dude, definitely. I'm not saying that. I'm just saying because I'm sure in Pittsburgh they're probably like scratching their head, like, "Wait, what?" Like,
right.
And I just hope Russ is healthy. I still love Russ. Everyone up here should still love Russ, and that's all I'm saying is I hope he's healthy, because the calf at that age, like, right? We've seen it with Rodgers. He had a calf injury in camp. I don't even know if Cousins had a calf injury when he tore his Achilles. So, like, he's going to have to be a pocket passer, because I haven't seen him really use the legs and get away from anybody. And I don't know what their blocking or O-line situation is in Pittsburgh. Haven't seen enough of them. But, yeah, this is a move that was very much in the making as soon as he was healthy.
Interesting. I think for me, and I love the drama and I love looking ahead. For me, it's just, what if this doesn't go well? And then it's like you're switching back. And then what if Fields then doesn't go well after that? And then you got to go back to then Russ. And then it's why cause this drama? Like, your record is who you are, right? Isn't that an old Parcells thing? Mm-hmm. So, I mean, a lot of Seahawks fans would take 4-2 right now versus 3-3.
Yeah, if it ain't broke, don't fix it.
That's kind of what I'm saying.
Yeah, we shall see.
Yeah,
right?
Let's see what happens. How about Devontae to the Jets?
Okay. Now, this is like a week. How long they've been working on this? Because then they wake up after their next game and they're just like, that's what I read. It was the Tuesday, right? They just next day they're like, oh, they're working aggressively to make this happen. And so it's just, why wasn't it done early in the season? Like, when they really, when you don't want to get behind on these wins, right? So it was curious timing is what I would say. But good, because I have him in one of my fantasy leagues and he's killing me. that hamstring's probably fine. I understand it was a very smart business move. So, good for all sides because, I know he really he's at the point in his career, he's still one of the best, but he wants to win. Right?
Wait, hold on. Back to that for a second. Business move by Davante?
Yeah. In terms of, like the hold in, I guess is what they call it these days. Like, I don't know if I could play today. My hamstring's a little tight.
Right?
You're not injured,
there, but not available.
Well, you're not injured if you're getting traded.
Yeah.
Right.
And then again, there's Russ on the sidelines week 1 saying, I'm not injured. Put me in. And they're like, nah.
Well, and he wasn't even like active, right? That was weirder to me.
I didn't mean to go back to Russ. He just brings a smile to my face for so many reasons.
I hope he balls out, man. I hope he goes out in there and crushes it.
Yeah, why the hell not?
But I like Fields though. I do.
Yeah. But does Davante change the Jets?
Yeah. Dude, do you know who we're talking about here? Like one of the best receivers. Does he command a double team every play? No, but a good majority and the timing and the chemistry is really what we're talking about here because he's played with Aaron for however many years. Like that doesn't go away, even though they're a few years removed from playing together. He's just like, hey, you remember how we used to run this? Yup. Like you can go out there with no practice as long as, he's healthy and they'll pick right back up. Trust me.
How wild is it to be a Jets fan in the last few years with the Aaron Rodgers thing, then the Achilles, then now he's back, then Saleh, then now Davante. I don't know if they were one Davante Adams away from these wins. It's still the Jets with everything that they're going through.
Brother, they've been in turmoil since Joe Namath's been there at the helm. So, they did have some great years with Rex Ryan, right? And but yeah, there's just one thing after another, and even I talked about our guy Gino was there, right? And Sam Darnold, and they're both playing well now. And so it's just, I don't know, for whatever reason, strange things happen over there. But yeah, it's got to be tough to be a Jets fan.
It looks like we're going to play Amari Cooper in a couple weeks with Allen throwing him the ball there in Buffalo. How about that one?
Wow. I didn't even, that was breaking news to me. Thank you, Brett Davern.
I got you.
You got me.
Amari Cooper to the Bills.
Jeez. What'd they give up for him? Does anybody know? Because that guy's still awesome. Details. Oh my God.
I'll get the exact details for you.
Yeah. And Josh Allen's been doing it on his own, right? I like that receiver. They got Shakur. The running back's hurt. Cook, or he's been banged up. So haven't had a consistent running game. They got a couple of the Kincaid and Knox, the tight ends. So he's got some targets, but when you take away Diggs and then he lost Gabe Davis, so now he's got a guy that he's just not used where he was. Cooper, I'm speaking of, wasn't used at the last team. So that's going to be scary.
The Bills received Cooper and a 2025 6th round pick for a 25 3rd round pick and a 7th round in 26. Yeah. So they gave up so a 3rd and a 7th.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. And absorbed some of the salary, right? I'm sure it was in the language, but it's a good move by the Bills.
Which deal do you like more, Cooper or Adams?
Cooper. I think the Bills really do have a good thing going on, and he just makes them more dangerous. But don't sleep on Adams going over there, because now Rodgers has Adams, Lazard, 2 great tailbacks, and Hall and Braylon Allen, the 20-year-old monster. So yeah, they just became very dangerous. But I haven't seen how they've lost all these games. But I've watched the Bills, and they still look scary without weapons.
Yeah, no kidding. Did you see this funny little story? It's funny for us, but not funny for the player. One of the Rams players lost their iPad that has like the whole playbook on it and everything, or someone broke into their car maybe and took it. What is the story there, Katie? Somebody stole the iPad. Oh yeah, somebody jacked the iPad out of the back of Connor McDermott's vehicle, I guess. But the Rams playbook might be out there, man.
Good. And Connor Mick might not work here anymore. Poor guy.
Oh,
I mean, I think that's a fireable offense, brother.
oh no. I mean,
you got hackers. You got hackers these days.
Yeah, but is it his fault? He's hopefully the car was locked. I mean, somebody stole it. It's not as if he just left it at a Starbucks.
Brother, that thing should be tucked under your arm like it's a football. Like
3 points of pressure.
Yeah, right.
Yeah. 5 points of pressure. How many points of pressure
Five.
you put on that iPad? I think it was Jim Harbaugh.
Oh shit. I mean, he's in LA.
Was it Connor Stallions?
Oh, yeah. Connor v. Connor. There's going to be a 30 for 30 on this one, too.
All of a sudden, you see just a guy in like a hat and sunglasses on the Chargers sidelines. Who is that guy? Oh, Stallions again.
What are you doing by that car? Oh, I don't know. It's weird. It's not even my car.
Oh, man. I mean, that is a big deal, though, isn't it? I mean, if they can hack into there and get the whole thing, do they have to change the whole book? Like, how big of a deal is that for real?
I mean, I would say, what position was he?
Oh, I don't know. Do they have? Oh, might not have the whole thing.
Yeah, it might be position specific. I mean, but they can.
He's an offensive tackle.
Yeah, so I mean, it was probably more alarming if it was like a paper playbook because I can't IT my way out of this and just be like make a call like delete everything. Like,
yeah.
So so I don't think it's like he just makes the call. Hey, my car got broken into. Just wipe my iPad clean. And you could do that. Like they can send it to you. So technology wins in this one.
Oh, okay. So maybe not that big a deal.
You're gonna get fined. Oh yeah.
Oops. Hey, check this out. Our active Seahawks player, which we always kind of find out while we're recording, our Seahawks player this week is going to be Dee Williams.
Yes.
So he'll be sitting down with us. Let's take a break and then chat with Dee. Seahawks rookie Dee Williams sitting down with us. Brought to you by our friends at Delta Airlines. Go with the throw. Sign up for 12 Status at 12status.com. Get 1 mile for every yard we throw for. It's our friends Delta. Dee, what's up, man? Thanks for your time and thanks for being on the show.
No problem. I appreciate y'all having me here.
So, Dee, you're from Forsyth, Georgia, from Stone, Forsyth, Georgia.
Correct.
We looked it up. It's kind of close to Atlanta. Did you grow up a Falcons fan?
No, not at all. I didn't.
Oh,
I didn't.
Wait, who are you a fan of then?
Obviously, the team I'm playing for now. So.
Oh, yeah. I mean, hey, it's okay. We're talking about the journey, brother. So it's okay.
Yeah.
Like I remember when I was on the wrong side of the tracks, I was rooting for the Buffalo Bills. Well, literally because I grew up in Massachusetts and my dad played for the Patriots. And I was the only one wearing a Thurman Thomas jersey. And like his whole team hated me. Like, and I was like, I mean, they win, man. I can't.
Yeah.
So there wasn't one team out there?
Right, but at the time, sorry guys, go ahead.
I said, I really just I'm not even a gamer, but I just always played with the Seahawks growing up. If I had family or friends around, and it's kind of crazy that I'm here now playing for the team I used to play with on the game a lot. So,
well, you were watching the LOB, my man, right?
Yeah, I was for sure.
Yeah,
I apologize.
Who's your favorite member then? When you were watching, who were you looking at the most?
I have to say Richard Sherman.
Yeah. What is it about Richard's game?
He's very smart. He understands the game a lot, and obviously with him having Earl Thomas back there with him, their communication was always good. So,
yeah.
Hey, being from Georgia though, being from Atlanta, how many tickets you got to get for this game?
Actually, none. My mom told me not to, get any for the family. They'll do it themselves. So, I mean, I wasn't complaining about that, but obviously, my family know if they ever needed, a ticket to get in the game to watch me play near home, that I'll do that for them anytime. So,
Hey, good on mom, because I would have had to bought 100 tickets if I played back in New England, dude. And so
yeah,
glad that the schedule didn't work out that way. But East is it East Central Community College?
it is. It is.
Okay, can you just take us back to that time and what was that like? I thought you would have had a lot of offers and what happened with the recruiting and everything? What was going on there?
Just starting from high school, I really didn't take my grades serious. My junior year, and I really locked in my senior year on grades and everything. But I had a great senior season for my last football season there. But after that, I was just like in a place of like not wanting to play ball anymore after high school, and so like I took like 3 months off, and my high school coach reached out to me and was like he wanted to get me caught up with this junior college coach out of Mississippi that I had no idea about, and he came and watched one of my practices,
That
like right
that's
before like an
incredible,
All-Star game.
brother.
Yeah,
That's a great coach, and really family member, I'll say, because he was looking out for you because he saw something in you. But we always talk about the journey here with the guys, and just taking that 3 months off, but then going back and then getting it done, and then transferring to Tennessee.
Well, that's the thing. You go over to East Central Community College, 103 tackles and 13 interceptions, Lofa. I mean, that's some production, right? So then you
yeah.
go to Tennessee, and what was that like going from the junior college to the D1 school there?
I really didn't think anything of it. Obviously, I'm just blessed to keep moving forward with my journey and my career. And when I first got to Tennessee, obviously, I was having a good start there, and I pulled my hamstring like right before the season started, my first year there. So I was kind of in an iffy situation of getting a lot of playing time with the coaches trusting me to get back out there full speed, which I wasn't like bothered by at all. I was taking my time with everything as well, but um, it just played out to be that I was like making plays on special teams, and I just never got like discouraged about not playing on defense, not playing on offense, or whatever it is. I'm more of a team player, and I just wanted to help my team out the best way I could.
How did you not get discouraged? Because I see a lot of kids I'm grateful to talk to a lot of kids, and they're ready to give up on the journey, and they're just like, oh, it's just not for me. What was it? Was it the coach? Was it your mom? What would you lean on in those times when you thought, you know what, this isn't going to happen?
I just came to a point to where I just always looked at it as like wherever you put your mind to, and obviously I just thank God for everything. So wherever you put your mind to, and to like knowing you can make it to the next level in anything you do, it don't have to be only on offense or only on defense. Like most guys nowadays just think if you're not playing offense or defense, you're not making it, no further than where you are. But I just always looked at it as like special teams is another opportunity, and it can open doors for a lot of guys, and they don't see that because of like the big time players that's already in the league doing offense or just defense. But there's also some big time special team guys here too that they don't realize made it from whatever college they went to the pros.
I'm sorry, Brett, I got to jump in again. That's
Oh, go
incredible
for it.
to hear, because I want kids to hear these kind of stories and this mindset and thought process of what it takes to make it to this level. And I heard the winning, everything he spoke to was being just the ultimate competitor and helping his team win. And I think a lot of kids these days lose sight of that. And my dad played in the NFL 14 years, and he was predominantly just a special teamer. And so, I mean, that made me smile and think back on my old man who's not here anymore. But Devin Hester made a Hall of Fame career. He got a gold jacket. So, right on, brother.
Yeah, man. I mean, what's it like to go from being a kid who's playing as the Seahawks on Madden to being a guy who kids out there right now can play on Madden?
It's a blessing. I always grew up like whenever I did play the game, I would like, how you create yourself on the game,
Yeah.
but you're not really on that roster. You're just creating a player that's, that try to like feature you as well.
Mhm.
But now that I'm out there, like actually on the roster and like little kids from back home, they always like if they see my mom out, they'll be like, "Hey, I play with your son on the game," or like I see what he's been doing. But like I'm all for kids, man. I just love to make kids' days and like make sure they have a role model to look up to back home, especially from the small town I'm from.
Well, speaking of video games, I mean, kick returning, punt returning. Lofa and I talk about like Dante Hall all the time, the human joystick, right? What goes into kick returning, punt returning? How do you come at it?
With this new kickoff return rule, I like it a lot. It's literally just make one guy miss, and it's just you and the kicker. And I just try to anytime I'm back there on kickoff or punt return, just any chance I get to return the ball, I just try to make the best of it. And any plays I don't get to make the best of, I just know that time is coming, so I just be very patient with it.
Can you take us through an actual punt and how many times your eyes have to move? Like, just try to tell the listeners, like, how crazy. I only did it in high school, and that
Yeah.
shit scared me.
Yeah, it is. It could be scary a lot, and especially you got 10 guys sprinting at you, and obviously you're the only one back there, so you just really got to trust your teammate that they'll do their job. They gonna trust you that you do yours too. So anytime I'm back there, as soon as the ball is kicked, I always check for the gunners first. Obviously, them the fastest guys out there, so I check for the gunners, and then I locate the ball to make sure I'm lined up with the ball from tracking it or whatever. And it just depends on like how far the how is the hang time for the punter for me to like decide if I'm gonna like return it or not. And you really just gotta have trust in your corners to make sure they protect you as well. So
Well, speaking of trust and teammates and things like that, as a rookie, man, like who are some of the vets you're looking to on this squad?
I'm cool with just about every guy on this team. We all treat each other like brothers. Like locker room is such a brotherhood in there, and I'm pretty close with DK. I was on the offense side of the ball when I first got here. JSN, Lockett,
What's
Bobo,
DK like?
Visca.
What's DK like when the cameras aren't there and you guys just hanging out in the locker room?
Great guy.
Yeah.
He don't say much, but he's a great guy. He makes sure I'm always good. Even if I'm smiling when I'm not smiling, he always check up on me, make sure I'm good.
Cool.
And he know that I like to ask questions. Me being a rookie, I always ask the best questions on like how to keep pushing through like adversity when things getting bad, and like he always just makes sure I'm up and just ready to go every time that I get like discouraged about something. He's always there in the corner.
That's awesome, man. That's awesome. Hey, speaking of questions, we got a list of 12 questions here and 2 minutes on the clock to wrap things up with you and really get to know you here. Cool?
Yeah, that's fine.
All right. 2 minutes, producer Katie. You got it?
Got it.
Question number 1, Dee Williams. Do you collect anything?
What you mean by collect anything?
Shoes, cars, anything.
Shoes sometimes, clothes, and every now and then.
There you go. Number 2, do you put ketchup on a hot dog?
No, don't like ketchup.
Oh,
Good man. Number 3, do aliens exist?
No.
Number 4, Pearl Jam or Nirvana?
Never heard of neither one of them.
Number 5, can you count to 10 in a random order?
Say that again.
Can you count to 10 in a random order?
Is that 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10?
No, number 6.
that was chronological order.
What's your guilty pleasure snack? What do you pig out on?
I have to say lifesavers.
Ooh, good answer. Number 8, how many tattoos?
I'll say 8.
Oh, gotta hurry. Number 9,
Gotta be a
pancakes,
record.
waffles, or French toast? We're running out of time.
Waffles.
What's the last regular job you had?
Never had one.
That's awesome. Number 11, what other sports do you play?
I used to play basketball.
Ooh, almost there. Number 12. We made it. Question number 12. What is your favorite fruit?
I have to go with peach.
Seahawks rookie, Dee Williams, everybody. Dee, thank you so much for your time. Last thing here, hands in the middle, everybody. We break it down, Dee, at the end of every episode. Would you do us the honor, sir?
What do the DBs say? Break us down DB style.
Jack boys on 3. 1, 2, 3.
Jack boys. Hey, appreciate you, brother. Go give them hell out there.
Appreciate y'all.